Well, good morning, everyone, and hope you're having a great start to your day today. How you doing? Okay, here we go. As you get your notices that we're on this morning, and nice to have you. Let's say hello to a few folks. Mike from Norland, you're number one on the hit parade this morning. Rosalinda, Niagara Falls. Christine, good morning. Jen, Cape Breton. Nativity, good morning. Andrea, Niagara Falls. Elaine, Dubraka, Mississauga. Mary, good morning. Kevin, Oshawa. Sunny, yeah, beautiful here. Wendy, Markham, good morning. Fran, Orangeville. Bernice, Newfoundland. Bettle, Brantford. And Babika from Illinois. Suzanne, Donna, Bell Valley. Helena, and Maria. Kim, good morning. Timmons. Luella, cold, West Tennessee, wow. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Madeleine, bonjour. Jackie, Belle-Île. Michelle from Knoxville, hello. Wanda, Virginia. Jeanette from our staff. Vera, good morning. John, Wyoming. Julie, Bowmanville. Katie, and Newfoundland. May, St. Catharines. Diane, and Debbie, good morning. From New Brunswick. Maggie, Florida. Or you were saying hello to somebody. Renee, good morning. Newfoundland. Brenda, Campbellville, British Columbia. Deanna, Kristen, and we appreciate you guys. Gloria, Hyde Park, New York. Len and Judy, Edmonton. Carol, good morning. Teresa, Diane, Thunder Bay. Couple more here. Roma, we appreciate you guys. Sandra, from the Dominican Republic on vacation. Well, good for you. Dale, Waterloo. Joe from Duncan, British Columbia. Fort Washington, we're saying hello to Lorna. Zian and Jean, good morning. Our dear friend, Dr. McEwen. Hi, Doc. And Amelia, Crystal, Lillian, Jerry from Nouveau Brunswick, good morning. We appreciate you guys. Okay, let's get going. Want to talk about a couple of studies. I got to start off with coffee this morning. I do. I know I never talk about coffee. You know I love coffee. But have I been right about coffee all along? Absolutely. Here's a new study, okay, that came out very recent, hot off the presses, about coffee and how good it is for you, okay? It's not the caffeine. So if you're drinking decaffeinated, I drink decaffeinated coffee. I have one decaffeinated coffee at night. If I have coffee, regular coffee, like after about 2 o'clock or whatever, yeah, I'm not sleeping. So I have a decaf at night. That's me. Okay? So it's not the caffeine. Here's what the study says. First of all, how good is it for you? They're saying that it reduces the risk of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Now think of the implications of this. It is so good to protect you from neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Who doesn't want that? Well, drink your Java, folks. Drink your coffee. Now again, it's not the caffeine. It's the 1,000 phytonutrients that are in coffee. That's why at the Martin Clinic, we've given it a vitamin status. It's a vitamin status. And it deserves it. It deserves it. It pushed the other vitamin C right off the table because it's better. It's 500 times better than the other vitamin C, ascorbic acid. I'm doubling down. And what they're saying is, look, I like the other vitamin C, okay? So in case you think I don't like ascorbic acid, well, I do. But if you're drinking coffee, you're getting better than ascorbic acid. If you drink coffee, here's a good point. If you never had ascorbic acid, you would get scurvy. Okay? Right? But I'm telling you that if you drank coffee and never had another fruit, you wouldn't get scurvy. And the reason I can tell you that is this is a long time ago that this Stephenson with an F, Steph with an F, got caught up in the Arctic. He spent a year, longer than he planned, with the Inuit, and he found out they were the healthiest people he'd ever seen. I mean, you're going back at the turn of the century into the 20th century, early 1900s. But more than that, you know what happened? He actually put himself in an experiment in New York, and he wanted to be fed just like the Inuit for a year, and they were going to test his blood and everything they could do in the 1920s. I think this was 1928, if my history is correct. Anywho, after a year, and he was in the hospital. They just fed him like he would get fed by the Inuit. I mean, no fruit, no vegetables, just meat and blubber, fat, fish, meat. He didn't get scurvy. As a matter of fact, he was healthy as a horse. And that got published. And then they buried it. They buried it. I mean, you got to go. And today with Google or whatever, you could Google it and read the story yourself. But believe me, mainstream medicine didn't like what they saw. Even back in the 1920s and the early 30s, they didn't like that. But if you drink coffee, you're not getting scurvy. Why is that? Because you really are getting vitamin C, and you're getting all these phytonutrients. Now, let me tell you exactly what the study said, too, is one of the biggest advantages of drinking coffee. Now, I've told you this in the past, but you might have forgotten. You know what coffee contains that is so good for you? Quercetin. Quercetin with a Q. Quercetin. What is quercetin? Well, when you see, I don't know if you watch any American TV, but there's a a commercial out there that's, I mean, it's really, it's getting all these fruits and vegetables in a capsule. And it's quite popular. People are buying this supplement on TV, okay? And they're advertising big time. I've seen it hundreds of times. And look, I got no problem with it, but fruits and vegetables, they have antioxidants like quercetin, okay? And quercetin usually comes from the color of, you know, a fruit or a vegetable. And what quercetin does, it drives zinc into cells. Now, let me just say this. Like a supplement of fruits and vegetables, you see, where does that come from? Because I mean, if you remember anything about nutrition from dietitians or people that are traditionally trained, they'll tell you you need 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And they almost make you feel guilty. But what do I tell you about that? Well, that's not your best source. It's not your best source of vitamins. It's not your best source of minerals. It's not your best source. It's certainly not your best source of macros. It's not. And again, I'm not saying plants are bad for you, okay? So don't come after me and say, well, Dr. Martin said plants are no good for you. I didn't say that. I'm just telling people, I've said this so consistently, don't live on them. They're not meant to live on. They're not. Now, one of the things you'll get in the plant kingdom is quercetin. Okay? And quercetin sort of got, well, it was sort of, before the vaccines came out, quercetin was hitting the news a little bit during the pandemic. Why was it? Because it was given, not often and not much, was given as a treatment, because you know what was getting lots of ink, even more than quercetin, was zinc. Because they found that zinc is so good for you. It's very, very antiviral. It is a very important, zinc is very important in terms of your immune system. Now, listen up. Zinc per se is not found in the plant kingdom. Zinc is found in eggs, meat, and cheese. Okay? Now, quercetin is found in the plant kingdom. But what has a better source? Coffee. So when you drink coffee and you eat your steak, or you're eating your eggs, or you're eating your cheese, you're getting zinc. And quercetin, when you're drinking coffee, what do I tell you all the time? Drink coffee. Why do I say that? Because I like it? Yeah, that's part of it. I do. I admit it. But every time I drink my coffee, I'm not kidding you, I know what's in it. I know how good it is for you. And I've said it when everybody said, and I mean it, you wouldn't believe the pushback I used to get in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, and here we are in the 21st century, and I'm still getting pushback because coffee is acidic. It's acidic, and that ain't good for you. Well, coffee's not acidic. It's not. It actually makes you more alkaline. What? Yes, it makes you more alkaline because your body buffers it. Your body knows exactly what to do. You drink coffee, you're secreting sodium bicarbonate. You're getting 1,000 phytonutrients. What do I tell you all the time? Have a coffee with your meal. You go to a restaurant, order a coffee. Why do I say that? Because it acts just like metformin. I like coffee better than metformin. Metformin, they give to pre-diabetics and diabetics. The pharmaceuticals industry's answer to blood sugar. Instead of fixing it, they want you to manage it. Let's manage your blood sugar. I'd rather you fix your blood sugar. One way to fix it is to drink coffee. Have it with your breakfast. Have it at lunch. Have it decaf at supper if you want. Right with the meal. It helps to regulate your blood sugar. It gives you quercetin. It helps in a couple of ways because Alzheimer's is what? Type 3 diabetes. You study, go back 10 years, 15 years, and they literally were going to call it type 3 diabetes. But that's not popular. People don't like that. They don't like the truth about Alzheimer's. Now, there's other factors. I agree with that. But the biggest factor in Alzheimer's is what? Insulin. High circulating insulin. Insulin resistance. Because when they named it type 3 diabetes, they meant it. Because when you have high blood sugar, that is very destructive, especially to the hippocampus area of your brain. Now they're finding out sugar destroys. Sugar is a poison. It's a toxin. They should have a big poison sign on a bag of sugar. And then all the other foods that have sugar added to it have the big poison sign. Because really, the more they study it, the more they realize how toxic sugar is. And now we have an epidemic of Alzheimer's, dementia, and you fix dementia or you help yourself with dementia if you start in the kitchen. It's not medication. Because what have they found with medication and Alzheimer's? Nothing's working. They made up. They fudged. I brought this to you. I think in August. One of the biggest stories coming out. There was 3 big stories in mental health in August. 3 huge stories. I mean, it should turn psychiatry on its head. It won't, but it should. 3 massive stories. The research on Alzheimer's was fudged. That was one of the stories. The research on Alzheimer's was fudged. Why? Because the pharmaceuticals wanted a narrative that Alzheimer's was caused by amyloid plaque They figured they'd get medications out to reduce that, and they haven't even been good at that. They fudged it. Go look back on where I brought that those on podcasts in the back. Go back. Now, secondly, serotonin, SSRIs. After reviewing all the studies on low serotonin and the advent of SSRIs, medications like Prozac, what did I say the other day? Like 40 million prescriptions last year in 2021 in Canada, and over 300 million. That's the size of the American population. 300 million prescriptions of SSRIs. And you know what they've said? That didn't cause depression. Came out in August. Here was a headline in the National Post, one of our Canadian newspapers. How did we get serotonin so wrong? Nobody's saying sorry. Ooh. And the third one was on bipolar. You know what they said in August about bipolar? There's a huge nutritional component. You know how they said, well, bipolar, you're sort of born with it. It's chemistry. Yeah, they said, well, we might have got that wrong. There's a huge nutritional component. Junk food, junk brain. Brain don't fire properly without the right food. So here we are, guys. Here we are. When you got high circulating insulin, one of the ways to help yourself is drinking coffee. It's helpful. Plus, it really protects the brain. Why does it do that? It's got those phytonutrients, and they protect your brain tissue from neurodegenerative. Why is there so much Parkinson's today? Well, part of it is we live in a toxic soup. And again, even Parkinson's, there's insulin component to it. There's heavy metals. We live in a toxic soup. Guys, you and I are not going to get away from it. You're not going to get away from the toxic soup that we live in. I'm sorry. If your address ends with planet Earth, you're not getting away from it. I don't care where you go on the planet. You can go to China. You can go to Costa Rica. You can go anywhere you want. Live on your own island. I purchased an island, Doc, and I'm going to live there by myself to get away from toxins. Well, good luck with that. I always joke because and this is true. You can go to Mount Everest and stand at the top. Seriously. And there's plastic up there. Babies born in the womb. There's plastic in the placenta. It astonishes researchers. It's everywhere. It's in the ocean. It's in you name it. Okay, if that's the case, you need to protect yourself. That's why God gave you an immune system. Immunity is not just viruses and bacteria, you know. It isn't. Immunity is, that's why I'm so big on probiotics when it comes to your immune system. Because 80% of your immune system is in your gut. And your gut is connected to everything else. From your hormones, your hormones, your feel-good neurotransmitter. Do you know that your gut has an ability to make neurotransmitters like serotonin, like dopamine, like GABA? You make more of that in your gut than you do in your brain. That's why when the Martin Clinic talks about the seeds of disease, like what? I read something yesterday, let me just say this for a sec. And the guy was good. He wrote an article that I read, and he said, I want to tell you what causes disease. I mean, at the root. And he said, insulin, food, 100%. He said leaky gut. I said, man, you must have been listening to our podcast. Okay? But the third one he got wrong. Because he said inflammation. Now, you guys know us. What do we say all the time? Inflammation is not the cause. Inflammation is not Houdini. That's why we're much bigger on the third cause being oxidation. That creates inflammation. Insulin creates inflammation. Leaky gut creates inflammation. When you have toxins in your blood, what happens? Your body reacts to that. Your immune system kicks in. Part of that is an inflammatory response. You know, we sort of coined it inflammation without infection. When you feel crappy because you got a virus that you can't even see, you know, you got a cold or whatever. Oh, holy gee, my head's stuffed, I don't feel good. That's all inflammation. But inflammation only came as a response to a virus. That's how your body fights it. You got it. It's your body's internal ambulance system. It goes to the area of infection. It's just normal. But if you have high levels of insulin and insulin resistance, you know what happens? You create inflammation in your body. Now inflammation becomes destructive. But it doesn't come first. Doesn't come first. But people are starting to realize, researchers are realizing the importance of insulin and what it does to the body. Coffee helps. Quercetin helps because quercetin in coffee drives your steak. Zinc. You don't hear me talking about zinc that much. I mean, I talk about it, but always in terms of, look, there's certain things that I want you to eat rather than take as a supplement. Okay? I want you to eat them. I'm a food first guy. Always have been, always will be. Like, do I like supplements? Yeah, they're supplementing. And you need, when you're drinking a coffee, you got your coffee that you love. I hope so. If you drink tea, I feel sorry for you. I always tell tea drinkers that. I love teasing them. I feel sorry for you. You got plan B, not plan A. Okay? Tea is plan B. It's got some good stuff, but it doesn't have what coffee has in it. It doesn't have 1,000 phytonutrients. To all my British friends that love their tea, have a cup of tea. Okay, you can have it. But it ain't coffee. It's not vitamin C. It's not even vitamin T. Okay? I didn't give it a vitamin. It didn't reach vitamin status. For you teetotalers. I love teasing, okay? I hope, don't take it personally, but I mean it. Okay. You know, we have fun, don't we? But, so when I'm big on getting back to what you should eat. Like I like zinc. Eat it. Zinc's in the animal kingdom. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Vitamin A. Do I like it? I love vitamin A. Proretinol A is a vitamin. I'm sorry. It's not found in carrots. Now, carrots are good. Okay? Carrots are good. They have beta-carotene. But they don't have proretinol A. I want you to eat your vitamin A. You do when you eat steak, especially, eggs, meat, and cheese. Why do you think I talk about that all the time? You don't get vitamin A in the plant kingdom. It's not there. If it is, it's for mice, not for humans. Okay? Isn't coffee good for you? Now, I brought this, let me finish with this, because I read another study. Coffee and going and having a poo. Coffee. Okay? And they haven't figured out the mechanism yet. Okay? Because I read a study yesterday. I got every coffee study in the world. Okay? But they're saying, here was the headline. Coffee better than fiber. For going to the bathroom. Number 2. I don't want to gross you out this morning. Isn't that good? So when you're doing the reset, and some people say, well, Doc, I'm not going to the bathroom as much. And that's normal because you don't have as much waste. You see, when you get a large stool, you don't win a prize for that. There's a lot of garbage in there. And your body, when you're eating, you're living on carbohydrates, yeah, you'll get a large stool. What good is that for you? And a lot of people, their body's adjusting when they change fuels on the reset. Well, drink coffee. It helps. Okay. I thought I was going to do 2 or 3 other studies this morning. When I got started on coffee this morning, I said, well, that'll take me a few minutes and then we'll talk about something else. I'm sorry. That's how much I love coffee. Okay. Hey guys, we love you dearly, right? Now, let me just make an announcement again. Anybody that wants to start the reset, I want you to let us know, first of all, and I want you to hook up by just a questionnaire, it's going to help a dear student of ours, okay, who's on our private Facebook group, goes to the University of Oklahoma, okay, and I'm on her advisory council, okay. They're doing a study, been approved by the university, on the reset. And everything will remain anonymous. Don't worry about your name being out there or anything like that. But you need to sign up so that you can answer a questionnaire. And then every day for the 30 days, you give her 2 minutes of your time. And they're going to track that. And again, your name's not going to be there. It's all private. It's all confidential. There's no health things. But what they're doing is they're studying the reset at a university level. Okay? And Jordan, one of my students, is doing this for her master's degree, her thesis. Okay? So I think if you can, if you want to do it, we're going to post it up there today again on how you can just sign up with the university. Again, your name's not going to be used. It's just for information purposes for the study. Okay? So let's sign up and get involved. It helps. And they're doing the reset. Now, you often hear me talking about Dr. McEwen at the University of Tennessee, and we're working together too for studies of the reset, and it's going to be really good. Okay, so whenever you see Dr. McEwen looking for participants, it's to, part of it even is studying the group here that we have. How beneficial it is on the Martin Clinic Facebook group, okay? So, we need some participants, okay, with the study at the University of Oklahoma. They're studying the reset. And I hope it's one of many studies. By the way, there was a study published, and, I'll get into this a little bit later. We should do the detail of it. Another student that is got her PhD now, okay? She had her master's, but she did a thesis on the reset in post-traumatic syndrome and how helpful it was. Amazing. The reset. And that is being, it's been she's passed her thesis and everything, and it's going to be published in the first week of November, I believe. Okay? I'll bring you more detail of that. Okay, guys. We love you dearly. You know that, right? You do? Good. Okay. And we mean it. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.